All right, let's get recording. Hello, I'm Zeros Pantera, the host of In Ear Fetish and Z Reviews and Z Cooks and Z Second Channel. Check those out. Wallpaper in the Horde, mousepad, ironically working out for all the things I had to put on it. And we're going to talk about The Wire, for this is the NightJar Singularity. I know it's that because it comes with a special card that says its name, its serial number, and yeah. Now, this was ordered by a patron of mine who was like, hey, are you going to get the Singularity? I'm like, maybe. And he's like, I'll send you mine. So this is not sent by NightJar. So I get to complain a little bit harder than I normally would. Not that I wouldn't complain. I would just be nicer about certain things. And now I won't. Again, we'll get to The Wire. Because it's a mode of contention. So let's start with sound, though. Because these are a single 10mm Timber Plus custom amazing dynamic. And that is, Zeos's favorite design for an IEM is always usually a single dynamic. There's just so much cohesion to it, and you can do so much with it. Like Soft Ears Twilights are that. Well, JoJo's are single dynamic, but those are also $50, and these are $1,300. So there would be a diamond in the title, except this is the In Ear Fetish and not Z Reviews. I imagine a Z Cooks with diamond in the title would be very good food. Jungle Boogie from Pulp Fiction. Get down, get down. So, all right, straight up, sound worth their cost. These are $1,000 IEM, easy out the door. Just everything is layered on top of itself. And then you get to like the whole NightJar thing. As a avid hentai fan, I think if I saw the tag NightJar, I'd be slightly concerned. But for IEMs, it's pretty good. Let's go over the things first. Here's your box. Here's your NightJar box. You don't get a jar, which fucking blows my mind. Go get a ball jar, NightJar. Get a ball jar and stuff everything in a ball jar, and then you'd have a NightJar that's a jar. So you got a NightJar box, which makes no fucking sense. Which they put some plucking foam in there so it could easily fit this without rattling around. So it's not really a bespoke box, but there you go. You get a gigantic case to keep things into. You get your little case of tips here. That's very nice, very boring. Not quite they kind of feel like the Velvets, but not quite the Velvets. You get your Singularity card. You get your Singularity NightJar envelope. You get two NightJar stickers. One that is just cooler than the other. I won't say which is which. You get your little footsie bag for putting your individual things inside of it. You get the NightJar little button clasp to hold the wire. We'll get to the wire. You get different tips to convert the wire to 4.4 or 3.5, which is nice. It meant that when I burned it in, I got to use a stock cable. And you get the stock cable. So now we're going to talk more about the sound and how it is literally amazing. Like, it's bright and energetic, and then the bass comes in, and it doesn't sound like you're just listening to bass. It sounds like you're listening to a stereo that's in front of you, but you're in a subway tunnel, so it like echoes over the top of your head, and it shakes your whole body to the core. It's great. They sound great. We got to complain, though. I love to complain things. Complaining is my thing. $1,300. I think you have to buy them direct. I don't think these are available anywhere else. If they are, I'll link there as well. It talks about how the Singularity is blah, 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 blah. And it's $1,300, unless you pull down the variant. And I thought, oh, Pro version? Plus version? No, all wires. Now, as a man who right now, at this moment, is using his $360 collab wire for reasons that I don't really fucking like this wire. Like, I literally pulled it out from the burning rig because I ran on the burning rig and it was like twisted together. And I'm like, I'm not fucking dealing with this. So I'm looking at this wire going, seriously? Seriously, this is where it's coming out crooked from this thing that unscrews, and yes, you can change it, but it's like, it's not enough. Like, they're using the same head connector they're using like a fucking 8-wire on a 2-wire, so it's got this massive hole. And like, the wire's nice, and I mean, I'm going to read about the wire. But then it's got like the NightJar thing, which is kind of cool that it has a split. But again, the split looks like it's designed for like 8 wires and not 2. So this is the stock cable. Also, these are kind of weird. They don't quite have a bend. They're very soft. I got to give them to that. They're very soft. They're very nice and soft. But this doesn't feel like a wire on a $1,300 IEM. And then I realized that wire, which I believe is the Vanguard 2 wire, on its own MSRP is $525 fucking dollars. So this $1,300 IEM, if you were to take, let's say the MSRP of that off, you're looking at an $800 IEM. But we'll assume that they lowered the price for that. So, but here's the problem I have. I mean, the biggest problem I have. I love these IEMs. A fucking full recommendation. Why the fuck is there isn't a variant that is no wire? Because that 2 wire for $525 that makes it $1,300 is the cheapest option. I love complaining about wires. So the Vanguard 4 wire jacks the price up to $1,675, which is this with 4 wires, which would probably be a nicer cable feel-wise. They don't tell you what that would cost, but we could just do math. Followed by the Bifrost Bold, makes it $1,850. Again, there's no pictures of any of this. It's just a name. But, Bifrost Bold. Then there's the Blue Hour 2-wire, which makes it $2,050. And then my head starts doing that thing where it, twists, but you can't tell because I'm wearing a DJI Pocket 2, and the gimbal's you can't tell he's got the ticks in his eyes. Followed by the Mira Mark II at $2,400. So we've just made this IEM that's $1,300, $1,100 more expensive than it was with a $500 cable. So that means the cable's maybe $1,600, okay? And then there's the Blue Hour 4-wire at $2,700 fuck off dollars. So that means if I go all the way down, if I keep going all the way down to where it's a Vanguard 2-wire, this wire, which is it tells me right there is a $500 wire. What if I didn't want to have a wire because maybe you own a Purple Asylum Cadmus 8W effect cable that I have on this? Maybe you have one of these amazing wires. That was only $360. They won't sell you the IEMs without a wire. And now I'm pissed. Please, Singularity. Please, NightJar. I want a none wire variant. And then I want to see how low that price drops. That's I guarantee you, even if it only hit $999, that would save you $300. One of my collab cables. Wires bother me, and even my wire here, it's merch and it's jewelry, and while it can help on the most sensitive of IEMs, there's only 5 of those. So if you do support this channel and you want to buy the fucking crazy cable, thank you. It's purple and nice. I'm bothered by people forcing $500 fucking cables into the thing that, if I make this complaint about this particular IEM, I should make it about all IEMs, all Thigh Audio stuff, all the $1,000 soft ears. But they never really lay out the price of the cable. So it blew my mind a little bit. It was all right, cool. By the way, I didn't read anything about the technology in it. Because apparently there's Timber Plus, there's Low Flex, and there's Cathedral. And I don't want to know anything about that. I'm a terrible reviewer. But at the same time, whatever the fuck is happening inside of these, I'm enjoying it fully. So the look, all right, we'll go to the look and the fit, because there isn't also a fitment issue, but that might just be me. Maybe because my cable doesn't have quite the flexibility of this does, because it's an actual existing cable. I've got my render tips on it. It comes with, you saw the selection of tips. There's nothing really if it came with something very special that I thought, this is going to be for it, I would have tested with those. I started with the Dunu SS tips, which are the long square ones, which are great when IEMs are hard to fit. If you can't get a right fitment, you use those. And it worked perfect with those. Then I moved over to the render tips, which are, again, my collab for $15. And they're silicone stuffed. They're foam stuffed silicone. Which, by the way, if you ever buy these and you're they're getting all fucked up, put them on top of a very hot amplifier. They'll reset themselves pretty good. The problem with them is this is a weird box shape. It's very thick here. It actually isn't very thick. It's just a weird, it's not very tall. It's very compact. And I find that when I'm putting it in my ear, probably because this is so thick and isn't rotated properly, it gets a little hard to keep in. And I got to sort of adjust it. And you can just tap this back, which I got to say, it's not the most, fantastical of designs for a $1,300 IEM. Does that even line up? It does line up. Okay, cool. I have nothing bad to say about the sound. anything I say bad about these IEMs is going to be for, selling to me without a wire, or the fitment's a little weird if you use like different tips on it. Because, I mean, the nozzles are, let me see if I can get this off here. The nozzles are a good length. I'll put that there to cook for a second. You can actually watch it reset. Because this is the Burson Soloist Murder Pizza Oven. It's called the Burson Pizza Oven. I'm just going to call it that. I might actually warm up a pizza on it when I do the review. It resets it like immediately. Then it feels warm and toasty. So the fitment can be a little weird. I have this one pulled out just a bit. They're light. They're metal. They're not super big. The wire's where you expect it. Well, at least my wire's where I expect it. Put it in our ear. All right, we're done complaining. Let's stop complaining and go back to praising the fuck out of things. I'd like to also point out I am on the Mass Kobo 475, which is God tier just because Mass Kobo. And it is legitimately an improvement on that. I was not hearing too big an improvement going to the WA7 Fireflies from like the Atom 2. Like this is my like test bench. If I don't hear a difference between this $150 solid state and this like $1,100 tube, then your IEM doesn't give a fuck. And I was hearing less of a difference there than I was going from either one of these to the Mass Kobo. For those who don't know about the Mass Kobo, Japan called and it wanted to your brain. Right? Right. She gets it. Let's get it off there, in fact. It might be making it sound better than it is. That's a thing that can actually happen with Mass Kobos. So we'll go back to the FX Audio, which is like $160 DAC amp combo, and it's still a fucking amazing IEM. Like, there's like this delicacy to the sound that's like these, like, I'm currently listening to the Get Her Out of Me from the Neon Demon OST. Please go to Amazon and watch the Neon Demon. It's Paul Winning-Refn's masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And there's just a weight to all the sounds. Like, a sound is happening, and it isn't just a sound happening. It feels physical. Again, I'm back to praising these again. I could shit all over everything about an IEM, but then still go back to praising how fucking good it sounds. I just wish these were like $1,900, and then they would actually be like, buy it and buy any cable. There are 43 ohms. When an IEM has a very low impedance, like the Let Shure condensers are 8, that many impedance, that's when a wire that has more than like 1 will actually affect the sound. But since this has 43, which is like almost planar headphone levels, the wire probably doesn't matter that much. I'm sure someone will comment about the inductance, Seos. The inductance. Yeah, this song, I wish you could hear it, because it has this like building like noise. It's not even music, it's just noise. And it's like, and it just keeps getting louder and bigger and behind me, and I feel the pressure of it. If that isn't the sign of a fucking quality sound listening experience, I don't know what is. Like, it actually makes me want to lean forward to get away from the sound. I'm like, no. No? Oh, wait, there's nothing behind me because it's in my ears. Anyone who heard these for a long period of time would absolutely just adopt them. Like a lost puppy. Like, you're mine now. Here's money. Random Full Metal Alchemist female Japanese vocals just screaming at me. It's all good. It doesn't do anything bad. They don't do anything bad. And they do everything good in an exciting and cohesive way. What is this? The Bacano? I got a lot of anime soundtracks going on right now, but it's like a do-do-do-do. It's like, I don't even know what instrument that is. But someone's like playing like spoons on their like lap, and I could just perfectly visualize that. Or acoustically visualize that? What is it called when you imagine the sound of something? Because visualizing something is closing your eyes and you visualize Chainsaw Man. But if you close your eyes and you hear something, audialize? Are you audializing something? Because that's what I'm doing. Actually, I guess I'm still visualizing the audio. I don't know. It's not. I don't want my brain to flop out during this review, so we're gonna keep it down. Any other version of me, by the way, using my render tips usually does get you a lot better of a seal. So it makes anything that's happening more intense. And on some IEMs, it's too much. I've had to deny my render tips on some IEMs. On these, it would make sense if it became too intense and I couldn't listen to it. Because there's so much happening. There's just so much sound. It's like, hey. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's fucking hugging you, but in his prime, not current Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like a big pudgy bear now. He's so cute. Yeah. You know, they might be one of the better IEMs I've ever listened to. How's that? Zeos can shit all over things. The box is in a jar. The wire's not $500 in wire. But my God, that horn from Space Dandy is just alive. Yeah, these are way up there on my list of IEMs I've ever heard. And I know you're going to want specifics, and I'm not going to give them to you because unless I pull out the actual IEMs that you would want me to compare to, spend 20 minutes on those to get them used to my brain again, listen to the series of 4 tracks, and then put these back and listen to those same 4 tracks and switch again and listen to the same 4 tracks. There's no way for anyone to compare just nonchalantly. That's when people I hate when, by all means, ask me to compare something, but it is unreliable unless you are literally A-being the 2 things. So like you're like, oh, but what about the Monarch Mark IIIs? And it's like, well, can you give me an hour, and then I can come back to you with an actual response, which I will do if you're a $10 patron in the private behind the scenes Patreon chat. I will spend the time because I need an excuse to just pull out the Monarch Mark IIIs. Holy crap! St. James Infirmary Blues from Brian Reitzel from the American God soundtrack. Yeah, no, these are... I very fucking much approve of the sound of these. Not so much the looks, the fit, or the wire, or the accessories, but fuck, man, the sound. So yeah, oh, by the way, NightJar, if you want to reach out, you know how to get contact with me. If you want to include the beautiful, pristine Purple Asylum cable, which I named personally the Purple Asylum, because you got to be fucking crazy to buy a cable for $300, reach out, make it included in that list. And this way they could be like $1,200. And I'll take my percentage. Cool? Cool. I love doing business. This is how we do business here in Series. Anyway, I'm done with these. I'm going to wrap them back up. They got to get back to their owner. Which is sad. Sad panda bear. Whatever. I don't think this is available anymore on Amazon. I have all these mouse pads I bought for that reason. Put the heart shape on her face. There you go. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. Wallpaper in the Wallpaper Horde. Patreon, subscribe so support the channel. I will not be selling these. Wouldn't be if I could. I would sell this, though. If I bought these, in fact, my advice to anyone who buys the NightJar Singularities, get it with the cheapest wire. This is a $500 wire. Even if you get $300 for this wire, you go spend $250 of that on something else and buy a $50 cable. Get a triple win or something. It'd be fine. Anyway, I'm done. You're done. We're done. Thank you. I'm going to listen to them a little bit more. You guys go.